Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a really special unboxing video. If you guys follow my channel, you'll know that my collection has gone through a series of changes recently. I recently sold my Peter Rizzenti Satori. I also sold the Gavko Trasher. Now, that was a plain titanium model, and I've got a bit of a surprise for you today. As many of you are well aware, I'm a big fan of what I call the Frunkey green. This knife pretty much perfectly sums up what that green is. It's really a green with a blue stone wash. I've done it now on a couple of knives. Now, some folks don't really like it. People have expressed that they don't like this knife in particular for various reasons, but I love it. I think this knife looks awesome. I am absolutely in love with it. I'm getting some pretty crazy offers from the community to buy this knife. I may not be able to reject them forever, but this is a super cool knife and I love the colors. I'm just a fan of green anodization in general because it is technically very difficult to achieve. It actually takes quite a bit of skill with anodizing, from what I understand, in order to achieve a nice green. And to be able to double layer it like this takes an extra little bit of effort. I like that green so much that I recently ordered this BBM collaboration between Nick Chuprin and Robert Carter with that Frunkey green kind of color. I found out that you can achieve this somewhere in the 96 volt range, 95 to 97 kind of area right there. And I absolutely love the green, and a lot of people know that that has sort of been my color ever since I picked up a Curtis F3. Now, that was a full custom knife. I'm actually down to just this knife as my only true custom knife in my collection. This is the Robert Carter and Frank Fisher Talon. This knife is sticking around. This one may be going in a little while as well. I have an offer on this maybe at the beginning of the month. So we'll see. But this is the only custom knife in my collection as of right now. Well, that is about to change because I'm about to show you my new acquisition. Now, I was a bit saddened when I sold my Gavko Trasher. I had somebody offer me significantly more than I paid for it. I did not ask them to do that, and they offered it to me, and I sold it, so I'm happy to do that. But I regretted it, and I saw that Michael Gavko was making some pretty amazing new Trasher models, and this one came along, and I had to have it. And so without much further ado, it's 3 minutes into the video, I haven't even shown you the very most Frunkalicious Gavko Trasher. Now, again, just like my original model, this is the shrunk model. But this one, as you can see, is an extremely special edition. This one comes with a full front frame done in Black Timascus. What is Black Timascus? Well, it's similar to Damascus steel or Timascus, where you take different types of metal, of the same metal, in this instance, different types of titanium, and you hammer them together, you forge them, you fold it, and you hammer them together, you cut it up, you put them back together, etc., and you get an interesting set of wave-like patterns. Black Timascus goes one step further and includes zirconium in the mix, and that is what creates the black effect right there. Now, this is the Alpha Knife Supply Black Timascus. This is the amoeba pattern or alien pattern that they have, and you can see why they call it that. There's a little face. I actually posted this on Instagram as a preview of what's coming up. I see a little face right there. There's maybe a one-eyed thing right there. It's pretty neat. I really like that. You can actually feel the etch here. So what he's done is he's taken that Black Timascus. Classically, people flame anodize that, and it comes out with blues and purples and golds. Well, he's done this in the Frunkey green. This has green, it has blue, it has sort of a lighter green, and of course it has the black. I could get lost all day just staring into this scale. But that's not even, all of it. He's got a Black Timascus clip, fully sculpted. He's got this Frunkey green done back here, a bright green with a blue stonewash. I'm catching the inside there. Even the inside is absolutely beautiful. And then he's done it similarly to my other model and given it this awesome awesome, what he calls fancy chisel grind. Now, I didn't manage to wipe this down before I made this video. I wanted to catch the end of the daylight here and boost it up with my new lighting system here. But again, it is a spectacularly done, full satin finish, sorry, it's hard to focus, full satin finish, nitro-v blade, 3.5 inches with this wicked chisel grind. And again, it's just insanely sharp. I just cut a couple of pieces of paper just as a test, and it's absolutely ridiculously sharp. Now again, it looks like it's off center, but it is truly not off center. It is right down the middle. Perfectly done as always. Now it's brand new, so it's going to have to break in a little bit, but after a few weeks, my first Trasher was the smoothest knife I may have ever owned, and so I know that this one is going to become that as well. It's already ridiculously smooth. It's just going to need a couple of weeks of flicking and use, and it is going to be the greatest knife in my collection. I am so thrilled to have this. This is quite possibly a forever keeper right here. The Gavko Shrunk Trasher that I had before was the absolute perfect size for my hand. It was an ideal everyday carry. It was incredibly sharp. It was incredibly well made. Just fun to play with. I found myself enjoying this thumb stud deployment even more than a lot of my flipper knives. And that's a lot to say. The flippers have a strong presence in the community today. And it's nice and refreshing to have a knife that is not a flipper that you also enjoy manipulating and opening. So if I do this the right way, oh well, it's a little bit tight, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. It didn't deploy quite right away. I think once the detent ball wears in, it's gonna be able to deploy like that. Now, originally he had this with some blue hardware on it. I asked him to change it to green, and of course he did that quickly and efficiently, and boy oh boy, I think that just brings the knife together. I love the green. I think it looks better than the blue hardware, but that's personal taste. Somebody out there is gonna hate this knife. They're gonna think this looks awful and stupid, but I love it. This is everything that I want a knife to be. A 3.5 inch blade, ridiculously sharp, beautiful satin finish, Frunkey green finish on everything, and just to have that black Timascus scale. I've never had any knives with Timascus period, or Damascus for that matter, that are personally my own knife, and this is just incredible. Unbelievably cool looking to me. Again, I could just get lost all day in the patterns and the colors that are going on here. Not to mention the other side. You know, it's beautifully, beautifully finished. Green standoffs. Very simple construction, but very strong. That clip has the Gavko logo on it. I'm a little bit concerned. It's a very thin clip. I hope that it holds up to the use, because I am going to carry this thing. I know that he will be happy to work on it if something were to get messed up on it. What I see here in the clip is what I think is maybe a couple of zirconium screws, maybe a blue titanium and a zirconium one. That's kind of neat. The rest of the hardware is green. I like that a lot. So there you go, guys. My new Gavko Shrunk Trasher. This may be my favorite knife that I've ever had. It's got all the detail work going on here. I've had some pretty special knives in my collection, but for some reason this knife really resonated with me. And now it is my ultimate sort of grail fantasy knife right here. I love it. I'm super, super happy with the way that it feels in the hand. I had made a final diagnosis video on the original Trasher before I sent it out, but I think I'm going to delete that and postpone it and sort of give a final diagnosis after carrying and using this knife for a few weeks. So stay tuned to my channel, guys. Let me know what you think of my new Gavko Shrunk Trasher with the green black Timascus scale here. It is the coolest knife that I have ever had in my collection by a long shot. I think it's cooler than the Talon, honestly. And that is because it's a much more functional blade shape. And it wasn't quite as expensive. It was honestly about a third of the price. Here's the 0055 for a size comparison. 3.75 inch blade there. So you got a 3.25 inch, 3.5, and 3.75. Again, I'm going to get a new camera stand one of these days so we can do an actual accurate size comparison there. So, again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Head over to Instagram and check me out at Dr. Frunkey. Check out Gavko Knives and their work. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunkey saying take care.